talking of transfers, I think the main transfer that's been going on since the start of the window is obviously Alexander Isak. Obviously, he's gone to Liverpool now. It was agreed on deadline day, 125 million. But I guess what I want to really ask you guys is, obviously we know Isak wanted his dream move. Like, obviously when a player wants his dream move to a club, obviously you have to honour it. Like, for instance, for us, when Hazard wanted to go to Madrid, like, he gave us probably his best ever final performance ever in that Europa League final in 2019, and he was very open about it. He said, this will be my last season, and he done it in such a good way that when he left, it didn't hurt as much. But obviously, you can argue Newcastle probably don't feel that same way towards Isak and the way he's gone about it, because I think it all kicks off from their pre-season tour, actually, because allegedly he was injured on this pre-season tour, and then there was reports of him training at his former club, Real Sociedad in Spain, to nurse his injury, and then the whole transfer thing kicked off, and he was basically refusing to play. Rob, I'm just going to go to you first. Do you think Isak's approach needs to be held accountable?
Well, you don't really know the two stories, really. You don't really know which side to believe. I mean, if Isak was told that he can go to the end of the season and then gets his promise broken, of course he can be upset and not play for the club. You don't know what's going on. But I mean, I'm hearing that Isak's trying to take legal action against Newcastle for character defamation because they're allegedly trying to stir up a story saying that, Isak's done this and done that. But I mean, Isak's done so much for him. I mean, like, but then you don't know. You don't know, because I can't say, oh, this player's leaving here. Oh, I'm gonna be mad, because you just don't know. You don't know the culture of the club. You don't know. It's quite a hard one, to be fair.
Yeah, and Reece, do you think, obviously, like, he's got his move now, but do you think Isak has essentially tarnished his Newcastle legacy?
Yeah, for sure. Like, Geordies don't forgive. he was like God up there. They were giving him like tifos for scoring a goal. Like, it was their first trophy, and I don't know how many years it was, but it was just after that. Bruno G staying, you got Tonali staying. They've got a foundation for a quality side. And obviously, like, bringing in an Anglo, it's like, right, that's a top signing. Can they maybe go on more? Yeah, is there an argument they might have needed to sell Isak anyway, because of PSR, FFP all these days? But it's like Rob said, you don't know what's going on. Like, there's two sides to a story. But if it is a matter of, like, I understand him being annoyed about, he's been told, yeah, you can leave, and then they've gone, actually, we're going to keep you. As much as he has a right to be annoyed about that, you're under contract, like, and you're under contract somewhere where you are loved. You can't say the whole time in Newcastle we never felt love. And the minute he signed, to Newcastle, he was the greatest player of all time before he'd even kicked the ball. But listen, at the end of the day, he's got his move. But when they do go to, he already escaped St. James's, but if he has to go there again this season, I wouldn't even bother playing. Like, the abuse he's going to get, it's going to be...
No, I don't mean, there's still technically 3 more opportunities, like a League Cup draw, an FA Cup draw, or even Champions League. 2-legged in obviously in the knockouts, because they can't meet in the league phase.
Would be brilliant.
But yeah, it's not going to be. You'd hate to be, because obviously Liverpool are not going to bench Isak, are they? Let's be honest now. For those games, but it's going to be a very hostile environment for him, because I think I don't know. Would you say this is probably worse than? No, do you think it would get a worse reception than like when Tevez went to Man City from Man United? Because obviously he went literally across the road, Carlos Tevez. Do you think it'll be worse than that, or on the same level?
In theory, like, it can't be worse than that because there's nothing worse than going from rival to rival. Like, but again, it's the Geordies, man. They're very vocal people. They're very passionate about Newcastle. So it's, I'll be tuning in. Don't get me wrong. Like, you're not, no one's gonna miss it. But yeah, I don't want to put it on that same level as Tevez. I think from Newcastle side, it's obviously going to get treated like that. And, you know, Sky, TNT, whoever's got it, they're going to have a field day, you know, bigging up the promo for it. Like, this is their dream. They needed this.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just, he's lucky the game's going to be at Anfield. That's it.
Yeah. Guess yeah, that's pretty much guaranteed. The next game at Anfield, I think it's next year even. So plenty of time to prepare his exit strategy. but I guess on the flip side though, because obviously we saw Isak's alleged refusing to play, releasing statements. I mean, even Johan Visser did the same. But we're not going to talk about Johan Visser because I mean, like, but on the flip side, because you see Crystal Palace, obviously Captain Mark Gahey, he done the complete opposite. Like, he was playing every single game for Crystal Palace. He was training with the team, even though he was heavily linked with Liverpool all summer. He never really stunk up a fuss or anything. I think he's a good guy in general anyway. But do you think maybe football's heading into an era where players are going to have to probably take the Isak approach to get that move? Because obviously the move for Gahey fell through on deadline day. Finally, he'd done his medical, and I guess you probably have already seen the Crystal Palace farewell video that went viral that they filmed. I don't know if they filmed that on deadline day, and maybe they filmed that in advance. But do you think maybe, because obviously Mark Gahey is a good guy. He's never going to do what Isak did. But do you think maybe, football's heading into that way where players are going to have to be as selfish as possible to get that move?
Yeah, I mean, you look at, you know, Gahey, you know, obviously Eze the whole time was respectful. I mean, he's holding that for Arsenal anyway. But that's, like, everyone's there like, oh, you know, they're doing the right thing. But they're also doing their job. They're under contract to play for these teams. Like, the transfer will happen for Gahey. You know, he's going to lose out on a few quid for 6 months. But I think Palace are happy to sell to Liverpool. They'll still get some money for him. And, you know, the Palace fans can accept it. It's a food chain in the football world. And when you're a smaller club and you've got the top players, you know, the big clubs just go, all right, here's X amount of million, we'll have him. But no, you got to kick off a fuss. Like, if you want it done when you want it done, you got to do the Isak way, or this is done. And, you know, it's probably, if Gibbs White kicked off enough fuss, you know, he was turning up for training still. If he kicked off fuss, he would have been a Tottenham player. But it's character in the end of the day. Like, a lot of these, there is still genuine character and respect in football. And you got to lose it if you want to get the money. That's that.
And Rod, do you think the same? Do you think football players are gonna probably use Isak as an example, or go fill the gaps?
It's like when you're a kid and you want that toy and you keep badgering your mum until she gives up and she buys you the toy, isn't it, really? But I was just thinking as well, I don't think people pay for the badge as much anymore, you know. I just think, you know, everyone's so hasty, and even though, like, you're under contract, you know, like, you still gotta respect it. I mean, it's like I go into work tomorrow and I could be like, you know, give me this, I want this, I want that, and they'll give it to me, and I'll be like, okay, I'm off, see you later. And, oh, but you're still in the contract. Nah, I'm gone. But I don't know. I think this Isak story will go on as well for a long, long time, because people will start using it in real life. They'll be like, oh, Isak did it, why can't I do it? I don't like his job anymore. But in terms of, I think but the thing with Mark Gay, he'll get fans for that. He'll get, you know, and I think the main thing about life is being a good person. And Mark Gay, he went it the right way, and it's proof that sometimes we don't go about things the right way. It doesn't go your way, but at least you haven't burnt any bridges. And the thing is, maybe the opportunity wasn't right at that time. It's time later that the opportunity arises again. You take it, and it's even better.
Yeah, because think Mark, he's still a young player. Like, he's still got many, many years ahead of him. I mean, I think he's going to be starting for England and the friend is coming up anyway. So that move will happen. And I think it's not even just Liverpool linked as well, because I heard rumours of Bayern Munich and Barcelona are also looking for a signature. Because I think if Crystal Palace want money now, it's going to have to be a January move. So we'll have to leave in January. He leaves on a free contract at the end of the season, which, I mean, some people may look at that as a negative, but I guess, I don't know, like maybe if he was to give his full season to Crystal Palace, it could be and like obviously play regularly and not kick up a fuss. I think that's probably, the Crystal Palace fans will probably respect that and say, you know, you've given everything to us. Like, they've won the FA Cup, they've won the Community Shield. I mean, I think the Palace fans will be unbearable if they win the Conference League this season. But I know there'll be some way to go. I mean, even obviously the day before deadline day, the game against Aston Villa, and I don't know if you guys saw his goal from the edge of the box where he curled it top corner, and then I was like, this is probably the best final goal you could have scored. Now, could you imagine that at the end of the season? Obviously, he's a defender, so we're not expecting him to score those type of goals every week. But if he was to, you know, win the Conference League or something, or they win the League Cup, and he says, you know, this is going to be my final season, I think that's probably best for all parties. And he goes to get his move to a big club, and then Palace will probably find somebody else anyway. But yeah, that's enough of the transfer talk. I was going to talk about Everett ESA, but I think that's not much really. I mean,
we ain't got to talk about that one.